So, love, let's talk new growth versus hair health because not all new growth necessarily means progress. We get excited when we see the new growth coming in. Just so, I get excited just by just a little hair I see coming through. New growth doesn't necessarily mean progress. So, love, just know that it's just a cycle of breakage on repeat. Let's talk about this. Welcome back to the hair debate. Oh, we are going deep today. Okay, we're not just talking about hair tips. I'm your host, Ocain. I'm a certified trichologist, master cosmetologist for over 20 years, author of 7 Love Languages of Hair, master cosmetologist for over 20 years. So we all get too excited, just too quick when we see new growth. So new growth without health, that is not success. It's just survival. So, we have this new growth coming in. We've been using all of the right products. We've done our research. We're very attentive to our hair. But now there are some things that you're forgetting. Okay, so, you may have missed sometimes where you were to feed your hair. You may have been stressed. Okay. The vitamins that the doctor advised for you to take, you have not been taking it. So you see this new growth coming in and you're all excited. Now, this is how God designed us. Hair grows anyway. Okay? Grows anyway. That's just within the cycle of growth. And there are times where the cycle could be slowed down. You may not have as much growth coming in, but again, any new growth we see is progress to us. But now what we're not attentive of, the things that we are not doing, which is that inner health. Okay, that inner health has impacted our hair health. Okay, so now the porosity is off. Okay, so now the hair is weak. So that new growth that has just come in, how long do you think that it's going to actually stay healthy? So now what you have to take in mind is that just because your roots are showing doesn't mean that your hair is thriving. We see this new hair coming in and we're wondering, why am I not seeing the growth? The retention can be wicked. You're wondering, I see the new growth, but I don't see the length in my hair. Where is the length? I've tracked for the last 3 months, but is it actually getting shorter? So you're asking your friends, you're asking your guy, your mom, what do you think? My hair is growing? But how do you really know? How can you tell? You must stretch that curl pattern to truly give you an indicator of what that length looks like. So you may, take the hair. You will have to use the same hair in the same position, in the same place. Now, if your hair is naturally curly, you will stretch that hair. Take a picture, and over time, say every other month or 2 or 3, then again, stretch the hair and take a picture. You could definitely tell where the growth is at. You could definitely tell if your hair is truly retaining its length. Also, too, you can blow the hair out. You can check it that way as well. But again, when you check it, you want to thoroughly make sure that you check in the same area, in the same position, so that way you can get rightful results. So now, love, you're checking your hair to see the length. Okay, but now when you realize that, okay, my hair is really not growing, That's what you think. But again, the new growth is an indicator that hair is growing. But the problem is that you're not retaining that length. So some of you experiencing this would say, okay, no, I don't want to trim my hair. It's already getting short. Trimming it would definitely make it shorter. Or, you're seeing the fact that the hair is thinner. Okay, I'm seeing the growth. My growth, when I feel it, is thick, it's fluffy. Okay, but now why are the ends looking thin? Again, that hair that is closest to your roots, that hair is the healthiest. So it will be thicker. And actually, if you can have someone to take a picture of it, have them to take a picture right there where that mark of indication is at. Now, that mark of indication is going to be from where that new growth is at to the ends of your hair that has been on your head the longest. So now you will see where the new growth is darker, it's shinier, the luster is there, it's strong. But then the hair on the ends is a different color. Okay, possibly it's got off brown, off black, but it's not the same color of the new growth. That's again an indication that the hair on the ends is not the healthiest. This could definitely derive from, again, that inner health. The inner health. The porosity may be off. You have not trimmed your hair because, again, you wanted to make sure that you could see length there. So now you have split ends that is now splitting up the shaft. Okay? We cannot cheat the system here. It's going to show rightful results. So definitely, guys, again, it's the inner health that's impacted. Now, the scalp is going to tell it all. Are there areas in the scalp where it's tender? Could be an indicator of inflammation there, especially if it's also an area that's itchy. It has thinned out. Now, you don't necessarily see red spots on the scalp. Not necessarily. But when there is severe flakiness there, could be seborrheic dermatitis. Your nutrition can definitely play a part of inflammation underneath the scalp. And definitely that is going to impact your hair health. One of the most major contributors to hair loss, to alopecia, is inflammation. But now, stress also can play a part in that as well. That cortisol will affect your hair at all costs. So there are some things that you can do. Because again, when your scalp is impacted, it's going to affect your hair health. That new growth is there. But how long is that new growth going to stay healthy? But now, how long is that new growth going to stay healthy? Because one thing is a fact. Your scalp will tell the truth where those inches will tell a lie. We could do the protective styles and that's going to help my hair to grow. Love, not at all. Because if the hair is a mess before you place it in a protective style, when you take it out, it will be a mess and then you will have continued breakage. If you have not done a protein treatment prior to going into that protective style, because when you have done a protective style and when you have that hair placed, tension is there, where that new growth is at versus where that mid shaft to the ends of the hair, which is the oldest part of the hair that is on your head, when that is stressed, that line right there, it will break the hair on the ends. definitely going to impact that length that you're looking for. So what you want to do is start journaling, making notes. Okay, you want to know when you've had your protein treatments. When you do the protein treatments, it's great to do protective styles where you can feed your hair. Feed that hair. Touch it. Now, I'm not talking about, putting the product on your hair and you just, no, take your time and rub it. Rub it. That's what you want to do. Okay? Love on that hair. Feel what the products are doing when you have it on your hair and write it down. That's the only way you would know what products are responding to your hair. Okay? Just because other people state that products are great for their hair doesn't necessarily mean that it's great for yours. So now, when you place those products on your hair, heat, we tend to be afraid of it. But know how to make heat your friend. Know how to use it. Now, heat actually opens up the inner layer. Heat actually opens up the inner layer of your hair. So when you place those products on your hair, when you're feeding your hair the great ingredients as in those moisture products, apply a little heat on the hair. It opens up the hair strand and allow those products, those ingredients that you're feeding your hair with to seep deeper into the hair strand. And then after the fact, okay, again, rub that hair. See what the hair feels like. If it still feels dry, then that's not the product for you, because you should still feel the softness. You should still feel a little moisture. Even though the hair is dry, you should still feel a little of that moisture in your hair. So know that. Don't compare yourself to individuals online. Our hair will have different curl patterns in it. Okay, different curl patterns in it. What we have to do is stop comparing. And let me just say this. There are some ethnicities that wear their hair naturally curly, and they have some tight curls on one side, a little looseness, on another side, and they have it all together. It's in the cut, it's style, they're great with it. They don't talk about heat damage. Why are we? We have different curl patterns in our head. So please stop comparing ourselves and definitely be consistent with taking photos from the roots as well as to the ends. And love, we like to think that longer hair means that the individual has been using better products. Not necessarily. It could just be genetically. We tend to forget that. Not all of us, I was definitely not born with long hair. I was not born with thick hair. Do I want it? Yes, but no, I was not born with it. But just because a person have long hair, we want to say, what products did you use? Let me go and purchase the products they're using on their hair, because I want my hair to be just as long as yours. And how long did it take for it to get that length? Guys, we have to stop comparing. No, my hair won't ever be super thick. No, my hair won't ever be super long. I just want healthy hair. I just want my inner health to be healthy. And another thing, love, okay, the shrinkage. Yes, it's real. I remember one time, now my daughter's hair, super thick, very, and long. But now that shrinkage, so I was servicing her in the salon, and she says to my client, my daughter is not a fan of natural hair because of the shrinkage. And she told one of my clients, she said, well, my hair is up here. And I'm like, Make love, no. It's not. When you blow out her hair, it's down her back. But again, that's not her truth. Her truth is when I shampoo my hair and my hair shrinks, then that's the length that it is. But love, we know, stretch that curl, okay? And you will definitely see your true length. So in today's episode, if this episode made you rethink the success of your hair and what it looks like, okay, I want to know. So definitely tag us at the Hair Debate. We want to hear from you. What stood out to you? And if your scalp have been trying to tell you something and you've just been ignoring it, love, it's time to listen. That hair has personality. I told you guys, hair is as individualized as our fingerprint. So it's time for you to start establishing a relationship with your hair. So love, subscribe, share, come back next week for another conversation that starts at the root.
Visit MoraleOcain.com. Follow us on all social media at The Hair Debate and at Morale Ocain. Don't forget to like and share.